Hello everyone. I have a nice surprise for you. They're back. Loading screens are back. Which is why I started streaming now rather than once we got in game. It's been a while since I saw these screens. It's nice to see them again. They're quite pretty. That's a nice fast load. Yep, and if anybody else has pretty screenshots, please feel free to submit them. As you can see, these have much saner rewards. Oh yeah, I need to adjust this. Huh, I thought it was in there. Huh. Maybe it's not exposed. The visual option for relays. Anyway, what are we doing? 81 days. Sounds like time to grind. We could try to do this. That seems like a decent test of the Doberman. 417 units. Yeah, let's see. Let's see what that oh. No, that seems I missed the period requirement. That's going to be hard to do with a kick motor. Am I quiet? I don't think I'm quiet, Do I sound quiet to you all? Let's see. Can you hear me any better now? Okay. Cool. Thanks. All right. Yeah, so that's the killer. We can't clean up with RCS if we're using a kick motor to raise perigee. This also has a requirement. This too. We have to wait a little bit. Well, we can take this contract now because we'll do it within the year, that's for sure. Okay, those rewards seem a bit much. Yeah, those rewards are insane. Well, that's why we're playing testing before we release. Let me write that down. Because, boy, those rewards are insane. They probably should be 1/10 of what they are. I wonder if they got a multiplier and the other stuff didn't. Anyway. Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to accept that contract because there is no way. Yeah, because look at the requirements. 500 units on the craft in a medium Earth orbit. Look at this. So another maybe 500 meters per second delta V required compared, plus more because it's 500 units. So maybe divide that by 8 and we'll get something decent. The advance should be around 40K, I would think. Maybe 45K. Yeah, because it should be a slightly higher advance than this. Yeah. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
2120 with 2,000 units of payload. 1430 with 942. Let's see what is actually on these things. Okay. 118 times 8 is only 800. So neither of them can do the contract. Yeah, you know what? I really kind of can't be bothered to keep grinding this crap. So let's just going to scrap these. We're no longer going to touch sounding rocket contracts. I guess I could keep grinding these. 333. That's not bad. Yeah, I guess I'll just do that while I wait. Because, like, I really don't want to use a whole Bobcat stage just to raise perigee. But I might not have a choice. $81. Million. So we're well short of that. We won't get that until, oh, is the pad upgrading? Oh, no, R&D still isn't. Huh. Okay. R&D is only at 50%. Oh, that's right, because I changed the rate at which that occurs after I bought it, which means KCT already calculated the BP. Pad level is this? I guess we should start upgrading that pad. Okay, because that's useless at tier 1. And I guess we'll sink our money into that and actually be able to launch serious business launch vehicles. Because I think the Doberman is like 200 tons. Let's look. $230 tons, yeah. 12 foot, 10 foot, 8 foot. Interesting, that's relightable. So we could certainly use this for the Molnia contract. And then clean it up on RCS. The question is if we have enough batteries for it. We can always bring extra batteries, that's not a problem. But we won't be able to do anything until we upgrade the pad because this is heavier than 150 tons and I would be somewhat hard pressed to strip it down to be under 150. Why does that always get... Why does that always get screwed over? The Corgi, by contrast, is 111 tons. You know what? Let's fix it this way. Enough out of you. Okay. We could put a third stage on this fairly easily. It'd let us send a fair amount to the moon. Let us send a fair amount to the moon, and it would maybe let us do the Molniya orbit contract. Hmm. Just thinking. Could we need about 2,600 meters per second on top of whatever it takes to get to orbit. 9,800, 11,800. Let's see what the delta V numbers come out to be. Oops, wrong one. Okay. So decouple, engine, retros, RCS. Interesting. We now actually have lower delta V than we did before. That's really depressing. We didn't convert this. This needs to be an AJ10. Let's see, 2 minutes 29 seconds. So that's the same. Let's see, 208.1. Yeah. All right, so that didn't change anything at all. Okay, so it's been researched. Okay. Slightly higher specific impulse and slightly higher thrust. Well, that's not okay. We're going to have to partial fuel this. And even then, we still won't have enough delta V. Um, 417 units of ComSat payload. Eccentricity above 0.7. So we'd expect with that period to be at about geostationary height. So this is a Tank 3. Let's replace it with an SM. Oops. What is that Sputnik PS1? So we're going to have to use the tiny one. That's for darn sure. And SM1, which is all we got. Okay, how much volume is that? 355, and I said 417, I believe. Of ComSat payload. we're in trouble. Yeah, this is basically a thing that is not going to happen. Because those numbers aren't enough right there. No, actually they are. What am I saying? I did that. I'm wrong. This is a thing that could happen. This is actually a thing that could happen. I was wrong. The other thing we can do is we can mount a pair of boosters. Because we have plenty of tonnage to go. That'll decrease our gravity losses quite a bit. The one problem is that nothing's going to raise our perigee. In particular, nothing's going to raise our perigee controllably. We could put kick motors on this. This is the 2 version. The 3 and the 4 are all too heavy to fit on my pad, so it has to be the 2. So this is basically Europa. Yeah. How would we have to do this? Well, we would have to put a kick motor on this with some RCS verniers, which we would then use to try to tune the period. This seems like entirely too much work. $123. Yeah, this seems like entirely too much work. Oh, that's the plan. I mean, you'll note that the delta V on the first 2 stages is just about right. But then we have to use this stage to raise apogee up to geostationary altitude. But then there's nothing left to raise perigee, and there's certainly nothing controllably left to raise perigee. Oh, you mean lob it up to, sorry, you mean lob it up to 500 kilometers. Now that's interesting. Not the way you meant. But if we can get the delta V to insert into a 150 by 500 kilometer orbit, then we can do our perigee kick at 500 kilometers which will take rather more delta V. And then we can fine-tune right then and not even have a coast up to geostationary. Okay, maybe that was what you meant, and I just wasn't thinking right. I thought you meant lob to 500 by 500 or something, and then raise from there. But yeah, if we do it shuttle style, it'll be fine. All right, so that definitely requires some boosters. So, structure. Where's the radial? Oh, no, they're in coupling. These puppies. Casters should be nearly free. Why is that? Why is one of the casters... Why do they differ in cost? That's insane. They don't even have the same stats. What is going on here? I'll use the one that's free, I guess. Oh, and it unlocked both of them. That's beyond weird. All right, that's another for the work for the to-dos. Okay. Proc nose cone is in here somewhere. I think it's 0.813, if memory serves. Okay. That's a fair bit more delta V. And we're still well under the pad limit. Thrust augmented Corky. Bornholio, I think about 20, 25 kilometers. 25 is probably safer. There might be something that's over 20. Some areas it's as low as like 10 or 15, but... $20 will probably be fine. It just depends where on the moon. Hopefully we have enough TVC. All right, so now we're looking at all right, let's accept that contract because we have a while to do it anyway. So even if we can't do it right now, we'll be able to do it eventually. So step 1. Let's upgrade this pad. That was expensive. First Molia orbit. Yep, and we're going to high inclination too. 470. All right. Let's take that. Oh. There is one problem. There is one problem here. That problem is solved. Ha! Yes, yes it is. Because guess what we have as a second stage? We have an engine that can reignite. Oh yes. All right, so what the problem was, and yes, I'm aware that we only have half a fairing. It's because I haven't even finished building this thing yet. Certainly haven't put it to the build queue yet. So the issue is this. We need to have a certain argument of periapsis for this contract. That means that we have to perform our perigee kick at a certain location in the orbit. That location also has to be our apogee by the plan that Bose and I came up with. However, we can do that because we'll launch to 150 by 150. We will then raise opposite to where we want to perform our perigee kick. We will then coast to the new apogee and perform perigee kick there. And everything will come out correctly, assuming we have enough batteries. So I think it's actually all going to work. So let's see what the actual requirements are. So it doesn't say anything about requiring solar panel or an antenna, but I feel like it's probably required. So let's fix that. Comms. We'll put 2 of you on. Whoops, that's bad. We don't want that. There. We'll do that. And a solar panel. Every little bit helps, so we'll only do 1 of them. Okay. Now, we're going to need a little bit of extra delta V here, because we're going from 500. So let's try 2600. Now this, I believe I over-provisioned, but I am not sure. I hope I over-provisioned it. No, I did not over-provision it. That is bad. That is most definitely bad. Because we're definitely going to need some oxygen because we're going to have to coast for 45 minutes. We're going to have to be very, very careful about our launch time. We're going to need to launch south, and we're going to need to launch in the evening. We're going to need to launch at sundown. Because launching east means traveling forward in time. Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Oh yeah, and the last bit was batteries. How much battery can we put in? Where's electric charge? $30 kilograms? Good God, that's bad. That's going to crater our delta V. Yep. All right. All right, so let's go up to 419. That's not so bad. Well, Molnia is, you basically just have to do the first half of a geostationary kick. And that's 2450 from 185 by 185. You know what? Let me check an orbital period calculator. Earth orbit calculator. All right, so the SMA all right, so what is our effective SM? Well, let's see. Let's find what the SMA needs to be for a 12-hour period. Okay, so looks like, all right. So at an orbital height of 20,240 kilometers, the period is 12 hours. So now we have to convert that to an SMA, which is 26,611. Now we have to compute an equivalent apogee and perigee with the same SMA. So we know I'm going to go from alpha. We know the semi-major axis is just it's just A plus P over 2 if memory serves. Um, um, I think that's correct. Yeah, I thought so. All right, so we know 2240 equals 6871 plus x over 2. X is 33609. That sounds wrong. That sounds very wrong. Oh, no, that's what I did. I forgot to add, yeah, I forgot to add the Earth's radius to the left side. Okay. Yes, X is, yes, so the apogee is going to be 39,980, which is fairly close to 3576. That's fine. That's probably another 50 meters per second at most, so we'll be fine. Now the question is, how much do we lose by starting at 500? And I'll claim that we're not going to lose more than 89 meters per second, which seems a reasonable claim. Now, how much delta V do we have here? We have 618 plus that plus that. 9382. Given the high thrust to weight ratio on liftoff, I'm going to guess that will be enough. It's going to be a little tight, but I think that'll be enough. I mean, we'll just have to find out, basically. How wide is this? All right, so let's make it imperial, because why not? So we want 0.9144 diameter. And make it a little longer. 417.5 is what we want. There. Okay. Now we're back to where we started. Because I'm gonna tool a 3-foot service module. The antennas are still inside. That's good. All right. Well, this is going to be quite expensive, but them's the breaks. So you go there. Put that up there. And we want to turn this off. Okay. So, hey chat, did I forget anything? I guess I could add more of these if I really wanted to. Yeah, I think I'll put 4 on. Get a little bit more delta V and a little bit lower gravity losses. It'll be like Atlas 2AS. That's an egg question, not a me question. I don't actually know the answer to that one. I guess I technically could put 6 of them on there, but 6 seems a bit much. They're fairly cheap, though, aren't they? Yeah, $335 each. Well, 4 of them is already another 1.2 million. So they're not that cheap, but they're pretty cheap. Oh yeah, I have to tool these things. Well, that was not exactly expensive. I think we'll have enough delta V. Let's look. 678 plus 4452 plus 4318. 9448. Going to 61 degrees and 150 by 500. But look at that 2G liftoff. I think we'll be okay. Gonna get real hot though. Real hot. At least the burnout G's aren't as bad. At least we actually have ullage thrusters by means of the RCS. So, oh, that's what I need to do. I need to over provision a little bit because we are going to be doing a coast. All right, so let's look at what the total volume is. $69.50 approximately. All right, we'll do 100 liters. Spare. And that cost us 80 meters per second. Not great. But we don't exactly have a choice. Let's add it up one more time and see. Yeah, 93.53, that's cutting it pretty fine. Man, do I have to put 6 of these boosters on? I really don't want to. Maybe 50 liters will be enough. I hope so. $94.01. That leaves probably 300 meters per second, which is fine. All right. The moment of truth. So, staging. Light the engines. Clamps and solids. Decouple solids. Core burnout. Core retros. Decouple RCS. To ullage the second stage. Fire the engine. It is in correct config, I trust. Yes, it is. All right. Fairing SEP. Then decouple, retros, and RCS. Activate the engine at an appropriate time. Separation. All right. Let's see if this works. We'll probably have spare delta V, actually, now that I think about it. Because with that high a lift-off thrust-to-weight ratio, and it's really only 6 minutes to orbit, it's just not going to have that much in the way of gravity losses. Which means we'll probably make orbit on 8900, which leaves like 500 to spare. So we'll be fine. So let's go ahead and tool stuff. This is going to be expensive. Yeah, $10 million. Now, that's already, no, that hasn't been tooled yet. It's a, no, no, it has. It's 8 foot. Good. Why has that not been tooled yet? All right, we know we want that. 3104. All right, so I guess we'll tool that. Tool this. So much tooling going on. Tool these. All right, now comes the 10-foot tank. 3.048. So I think we want, well, we'll just tool it. It's fine. Actually, let's tool this. Yeah, that's more like what I expect to pay. This, however, will be cheap. And what have we left untooled? Let's find out. So, this has been tooled, but these haven't. No, they have. This has not been tooled. This has not been tooled. That has not been tooled, and I have to get the boat tail somehow. There. It's going to be cheap. Fairly cheap. All right. There. Only about a little over twice as expensive as the single stick. Not that bad, really. Okay. Not that expensive a launch vehicle, after all. Once we get controllable probes, we probably will be able to do geostationary on this. Look at it, all that delta V. All right, let's build a couple. I believe that everything has max data now. Yep, that's it, basically max data. That's... Did we never? Oh, we are R&Ding it. And this is also going to be at max data, probably. Yeah. All right, so it's just this engine that's not yet anywhere near max data. And it'll need 40 days, I think. Let's see. 63. Yeah, 40 days. That's fine. It's going to take 34 days to build, and then we'll have to roll it out. So it'll be about 40 days. So let's queue a few up. We did Geo with Thorad, yes. That's no, we didn't even do it with Thorad. We did it with TA Thor Delta. And if I had a like 5 kilogram satellite with 10 kilograms of solid, I could too. Or whatever Syncom one was. Syncom is tiny. Uh, 68 kilograms total. It's actually better than that's more than I thought. It was launched on Delta B, so it wasn't even thrust augmented. But remember that it has a it had an Altair or something, and I'm doing this without a kick motor because I need control. Because the actual Altair did have verniers, so if I wanted to mess with that, I could have done that. But I don't want to do the math, so instead we'll just do it by brute force. Okay. I feel like it's time for another cricket. Ah, that's the Molniya orbit. Yep, there's the 39 whatever as expected. Yeah, because it was for 500 kilometers, it's 39,900. For 600 kilometers, it's 39,238. As expected. Okay. Cricket 5. We'll call it Cricket 5. Also, Syncom was geosynchronous, not geostationary, so that helped. You know what we'll do? We'll do that. So I don't have to rename it. Okay. Well, so like we said, we have to do this at sundown. Or actually about an hour before sundown. Shoot, we're going to have lots of daylight. More boil off than I'd like. We will not have 12 hours of darkness. But them's the breaks. Yeah, I punched something up to pretty high altitude. All right, so let's go ahead and save this. Okay, we'll take 3 days and 21 hours to roll out. Okay, it is morning, so we're going to have to warp into the evening. All right. Okay. Evening launch. All right, here we go. Let's hope that all those assumptions prove correct. Night launch. Well, evening launch. Pretty. Yay, I finally can actually use PEG again. Target periapsis is 150. Booster pitch start is going to be 1. That seems like it's probably going to be okay. I'm going to quick save because I'm tempted to revert if I utterly stuff this up, just because, I mean, you'd have people on the ground to actually calculate this. So this is just entirely by guess. We're using 3 stages effectively. 0, 1, and 2. 2 Gs. Do I want to pitch over that fast? Let's try 2 seconds. .8. I think that's about right. Now we need to go to minus 62 degrees, if memory serves. Inclination above 61.4. So minus 62 degrees. Yeah, we'll do a really low orbit. Here goes. Cross your fingers, everyone. What did we hit? Limit AOA to off. Oh, I forgot to research the... That's why. Thank you, TVC. I totally forgot to research them. That was horrific. Well, we'll see if we have enough delta V. We probably won't. Yeah, I totally forgot to research those things. That's my bad. Why does it say pitch program 39 seconds? And why is it not recognizing a bunch of stages? And we're not pitching. All right, something is very weird. We'll be right back. Let me load that save again. I've tried to reinitialize, and it often has problems. But let's try that again. Oh, except I may not get the same failures. Well, oh well. We'll see. Autopilot engaged. That looks right, that looks right, that looks right. That estimate is, of course, totally wrong. Well, we're powering out of here. It got stuck again. Wonder why it gets stuck. No failure that time, and it still got stuck. Alright, I guess I really over-budgeted on Delta V, if that estimate is going to hold true. RCS to on. Coming up on the big kick. Let's see what happens. Limit AOA back to on. And pitch down. Not that big a kick. Specimen Spiff, nothing failed on this launch, and it got stuck this time too. So, and there was no collision, there was no nothing. It was just during the burn of the solids, it decided to get stuck. So, I don't know. I mean, this is the old code, so it's not actually really relevant to anyone's existence, but because I'm not using the shuttle. Ah, okay, sorry. Stream delays are bad. Well, we're about to try igniting this puppy for the first time in about 40 seconds. Son of a gun, I went to the wrong inclination. Shoot. Should have launched northwards. Well, we'll see how much boil off we have. We shall see. We might actually have enough to do 500 by 500. Yep, we do. Alright, so we'll just launch to 500 by 500. Okay, burnout. and light it up. RCS to off, because we have verniers. I guess it wasn't quite sundown enough, because we're going to have a fair amount of oil off. All right, 2 pascals. I mean, yeah, we do. It just has a nozzle extension, right? On top of this. Oh yeah, I've never actually seen an X405H. So I did not know that it switched its gimbal actuation. It still had the peroxide verniers, right? Or did it have, like, did it do roll control with... Well, but they would have needed to dump it somehow. I guess they could have pumped it into the nozzle. Okay, it does have verniers. Now we're pitching down. Kilometer per second orbital velocity. Interesting. Yeah, we really could use a model of that. That'd be cool. And with the new ECM system, it doesn't matter that they'll be on separate parts. So, that's good. Perfect. Now, let's go ahead and circularize at the next apogee. 114, we have 359 in the tank. So even if we have a fair amount of boil off, we should be okay. Let's whoops, we just, yeah. All right. Whoops, and we lost connection. Why did we lose connection? Probably because, no, we're not out of VC, so that's okay. Because there's no ground stations anywhere around here. Nope, we're not going to have comms for a while. Please tell me we'll at least have comms near apogee. Yeah, we will. All right, that's fine. Okay, now we have... All right, so let's warp to here. And then, oh, nope, we're out of comms again. Because of course we are. And I forgot to turn the RCS on. Come on. How do we not have comms? Now we have comms. Good. It's a line for burn. So we have not lost that much liquid oxygen because we launched to the night. Okay, let's execute the next node. How are we doing on peroxide? Whoa, we're almost out of peroxide. That's not the best. I guess I didn't pack any extra peroxide, that's for sure. Okay. Success so far. Now, let's look. Oh! Oh, no, no, that'll be fine. I think that'll be fine. So they're going to cross here. So lowest point on the orbit is about, let's look. Okay. What is that? 40, that's too high. 41, we're going to want 39. I think about there, actually. So let's look. The node is in 1 hour 14, and that's in 7 hours 11. So we want 7 hours 14. $13.30. Yeah, now we're correct. We'll pull it back a little bit to account for overburning by MechJeb. Yeah, okay. All right, let's go ahead and do that. Blowfish, you're right that we could probably use the extra. There's still some HTP, so we would have been okay. But we shouldn't rely on that. 244 meters per second spare. Okay, so we definitely didn't need the fourth caster, but that's okay. Let's hope this won't materially change our orbit at all. Oh, we're out of comms contact anyway. Because we're always out of comms contact on this trajectory. Okay. Let's go ahead and discard the stage. And get that ready to go. 2420. As expected, it's less than 2450 because we're in a circular 500 kilometer orbit. Had we been in the expected 150 by 150, it would have been probably more like 2500. So we still had extra just in case. Blowfish, yeah, I should have. I should have set the flow priorities better. Although technically it shouldn't. I need to make module RCS whatever so that it doesn't let you use non-highly pressurized tanks. Cheat like that. Okay. Execute. How are we doing on battery life? Not a ton, but that's okay. Come on. Do the warpy thing. Come on. How's that on battery life? Yep, okay, so we've just about exhausted this. Very stable. Little ullage pufters to keep us stable. At some point we will light up. Yeah, you're right. It should be highly pressurized. Yeah, because it's obviously got to flow into the pumps for the, yeah. Good point. I have indeed lamented it. I've lamented it quite often. If that stuff ever gets rewritten, it's going to be a slider. You can set your atmospheres of pressurization. Here we go. Bang on. Molniya orbit complete. So let's go ahead and put some spin on this thing. To get it away from the stage, which we have now successfully done. Yeah, so we're good. We even might get a little bit of solar power on that, which would be nice. And that gave us not as much money as one might hope, but a fair amount of money. Cool. All right. Whoopie whoopie whoop. I guess we can go ahead and cancel the second Cricket 5, because I don't think there's anything. Yeah, we're not getting repeatable Molnias, so. We actually probably have enough Delta V to do Tundra. Oh, except for the periapsis requirement. Man, we might even have enough to do that. But probably not. I don't think we have enough Delta V for that. No, because we'll need extra Delta V to raise the apogee quite a bit higher. All right, so that was a smashing success, other than those caster, other than me forgetting to research the casters. Oh well. Oh, their flight data is quite high now anyway, so no more point to researching them. All right, so my Delta V worries from earlier in the stream were rather unfounded because we had plenty spare. And man, relights are so swanky. I forgot. Every time I play a career, I'm like, oh god, I wish I could relight this engine. And then you get them and you're like, yay! All right, so 71 days until we can launch obscene things from Pat Baker. And we're poor again. All right, I think I'm going to call it quits for there. Thanks everybody for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Probably not tomorrow night though, because I'll be going out tomorrow night. We'll see. I'll see when I get home. Anyway, see you all.